happen to lose the thought of knowing it because we are so busy in our day-to-day. That is why it is imperative to make sure you start with the foundation of you. There is power in your voice. Your voice is power. And so the vulnerability that you spoke about is true. It is us sharing stories, and we don't know each other, but there's linkages, right? There's, dang, I felt like that. That's what that felt like. I can see the pain, and now I can see that you have 3 dominoes, so I can do that. The power inside of this room is using your voice to meet others, because these women here can become your network. I don't know any woman on this stage today, but they are now my network. But you have to leverage that, and that comes with using your voice and knowing deep inside that I'm going to start with the foundation of you. I love vision boards. I live by a vision board, and I teach women how to do vision boards, because when you have something in front of you that you don't have yet, but you know where you want to be, that clarity right there sets your mind free. That clarity right there gives you the focus you need. And that's why when you're walking in it, it's okay to leave those friends to the side, because you have a clear purpose. So I appreciate those words like clarity, like vision, like purpose, because you don't feel that all the time. That's why a lot of my programs are based on affirmations, because a lot of people did not get affirmed as a child. And to be honest, I did get affirmed as a child. And I had a mother and father in my home. I was raised very different than a lot of my friends. And I will be honest, it wasn't until I came to Morgan State University and I was graduated and I was meeting with people and that I really jumped out of my shell and realized, like, I think I was living in a box. It was a good box, and let me not suggest, I was middle class with use your voice. It's so much to say. So, you know, we all get into it, so I just want to pass the mic. But it's so passionate, and I just want everybody to leave out of here knowing that you are greatness. You are greatness. You are power. So live in it. Own it. Because there's something inside of you that has you here today, right? That's right.
Didn't know why. So mom came back there and sat next to me, and she knows what I go through. So she just sat next to me. She didn't ask me what's wrong, why are you crying. She just said, Brianna, you know.
I could be there, but I didn't know what to do at that point. You know, then I found out, you know, sometimes being in your own thoughts can't be that bad. I started meditating, and that took me from being angry to being able to understand that you are not alone. There's other people out here that are going through exactly what you're going through. You know, so it was time to fix some things. You know, try to fix it with my mom, and then it was too late. You know, they found her in a coma. She had a heart attack. I did get a chance to get things off my chest during that process of me losing her, and I needed that. You know, sometimes there is passion and pain, and there's power in pain. And us as women, we are so afraid to show that pain, but pain is okay. It's okay to say, you hurt me. It's okay to let it out, you know. And like I shared with Blue, I found out my dad, who something I was trying to fix 2 months ago, passed away. You know, so now that's my real life. You know, that's what I'm dealing with. You know, recreating and having my children understand that, you know, you have other family, you know. Mommy didn't, you know, probably do this the right way, you know, introduce into siblings that I have no relationship with. You know, that's real life, you know, and depression, you can't put a Band-Aid on. You can't say, okay, you know, I did this and I'm talking about this and it's gone. It's never going to go away. How you cope with the things, you know, makes it better, you know, and me being a vessel and me having this meditation and, you know, my daughter, she's 13, you know, she sits there with me with the candles and, you know, we go through breathing sessions, you know, that's my healing. You know, everyone else has their healing. You know, mine is not therapy. Mine is actually being vulnerable and understanding that these emotions are real. You know, so if you have real, raw emotions, I've always been a raw person growing up. You know, my grandparents just say, you just say everything. You just don't think about what you're saying, you know. And now I understand that.
With a single mother, I was practically raised by my grandparents because my mom was always working. I'll say where I first started knowing that I was battling with depression was age 21. I got locked up for a domestic violence charge. Luckily, that did not stick, thank the Lord.
Okay.
But it was because I had befriended the wrong people. and I got put into a situation that honestly was completely out of my control. I had 10 people in my apartment trying to fight me.
What?
So it was more of a matter of self-defense, but I was the one charged. From there, it was just a roller coaster. I ended up losing my job. I ended up moving into another apartment because I couldn't stay in that one that I couldn't afford. So there were eviction notices on my door like every other day. I was working 3 jobs, still trying to go to school, and I had 2 parents, one person that I did speak with, the other person that literally lived up the street from me and I did not speak to, and no one was trying to help me. I was in an abusive relationship, and I was trying to find peace in all the wrong places. One thing that I would definitely say about myself that I learned was that with the absence of my father, I was looking for love in all of the wrong places, which is why I ended up in the abusive relationship that I was in. And I was there for so long because I was trying to make somebody love me that didn't know how to love me. I didn't even know how to love myself. So from there, by the grace of God, and one of the things that I attest to is my faith all the time. I got on my knees one night because I was tired. I would literally wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, would not get back in the house till 1 o'clock in the morning because I was working at a nursing home, I was working at an elementary school, and I was working at TGI Fridays. I was at my wit's end, and I dropped on my knees, and I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. My mattress was on the floor, and I just broke down crying because I had no idea how to get out of the situation. I was tired. I was mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually tired to the point where I didn't even have enough love to give to myself at the end of the day. And I just asked Jehovah God to show me whatever it was that he was trying to teach me. Because I don't think that we go through things in life for no reason.
Right.
You're either supposed to be a blessing to somebody else, or there's a lesson that you need to learn. And I had to think, I was like, well, what lesson are you trying to teach me that I'm not learning? And my friends, people that were my friends for 10, 15 years, wasn't calling me because I ain't had no money. I ain't had no car. I couldn't hang out. So what they needed me for, I was no longer of service, of value to them. So now, nobody calls me. Nobody picks up the phone. Tara, are you okay? Are you fine? Do you need anything? It was none of that. My mom, who honestly at this point we have built such a wonderful relationship, but back then it was none of that. It was, you say you're going to help me, but you don't help me. I was standing on the bus stop at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to get to work because the boyfriend that I supposedly loved me said he was going to take me to work, but now all of a sudden he don't want to take me. So I'm outside in the cold. Ma, can you come take me to work? Why you can't get him to take you? And I was just like, are you serious, man? But that's just what it was. And I'm a Capricorn. So instead of complaining, I just do whatever I got to do to make sure I'm fine and that I'm okay. But I started to harden on the inside. I wasn't receptive to love. I wasn't receptive to help. I was one of those people, you know what? I don't need you. I can do it for myself. When in all actuality, we all need somebody. You cannot live life. You can't do anything in life on your own. So, by the grace of God, I ended up getting the job opportunity that I needed. I was able to afford all of my bills. I was able to pay off the behind rent and get my car and everything. But it was only through the grace of God. I was getting money that I didn't even know where it was coming from. I'm telling you, I got a refund check from Morgan and everything. I wasn't even in school. Where the money come from? I was like, but you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. I gotta take the grace. But it was the grace of God. I'm telling you. I ended up going through a situation where I ended up having an abortion because the person that I thought loved me didn't love me and didn't want any kids. And this is the first time I ever shared that. And I dealt with it by myself in the midst of all of that. And I learned so much. I learned how to live in my truth in that moment. I learned how to accept who I was, where I was, and the fact that I did not have all of the answers. So I started working on myself spiritually. I started trying to cope with all of the issues that I had from a child that have now impacted my adulthood. This year, 28, I started to make so many decisions. I started to live selfishly and fearlessly at 28. I decided that I would not let others dictate how I decided to live my life. So this is where I touched on everybody. You left your job this year. I literally quit my job 2 weeks ago. I had no plan. I said, you know what? I know my skill set. I know what I bring to the table. I know I will find me another job. It didn't even take a week. It didn't even take a week. I literally, my last day was Monday. Had a job on Tuesday. Nothing but joy. Nothing but joy. And I decided to forget the naysayers because I told my friends and my family members, and they was like, "Oh, well, can you afford your bills? What you gonna do?" And I said, "Honey, the Lord got me out the last situation. I'm pretty sure He ain't about to leave me now." And also, I started creating other streams of income within the course of the year, so I'm fine, you know. And you started drugs and all that to cope with your depression. I was drinking heavily when I was 21, 22. I had this one piece where I say I was sexing the next man while lost in love with my ex-man. Sex and drinking, those were my coping mechanisms. My uncle, who was my father when my dad decided to leave, passed away in February, and I have been trying every day, trying to figure out how do I go on from here, because it's things in life that I can't talk to with nobody else. And the person that I can talk to is no longer here. My grandfather, who helped raise me, we haven't been able to find him in 2 years. He's been battling with drugs. So at this point, we've just chucked it up to the fact that he may have passed away somewhere, and we will never know. I use my poetry at this point to empower women, individuals, to tell my story. I wrote a book earlier this year and released it called A Journey of Words, because literally I've been on a spiritual journey for the past 3-4 years, and I just decided to be so transparent in this book. I decided to tell people my story and what it was that I was going through, and inspired these poems because I knew that through my poetry I could help somebody else heal. I don't know if you're going through exactly what I went through, but I know it's somewhere in those pages you may find just a piece of advice that will add a little bit of healing on your journey.
Give it a try. And I was at a point where I wanted to challenge my body physically. So for me, when I got into it, it was strictly about like what it could do for my body. Like I just wanted to be able to put my leg over my head and you know what I'm saying? Like these things, right? That was the goal at first. That was the goal. I was just like, I'm just gonna be flexible. I had a child too. And so you guys know, like when you have a kid, like as a woman, it changes you, you know, and I just wanted to feel like I still had it, y'all. Like I needed to know that like mama still gotta have a life too, right? And so I dove into yoga, I dove into it, and I progressed from like what I wanted from it physically, and it became like a spiritual awakening. Like it really became a spiritual awakening, and it's still that. You know what I'm saying? Like don't get it twisted. Like yeah, I do yoga, I meditate, and all of that, but continuously, I have to go back to my practice. And as I got into it, I realized that there were too many faces that looked like me. And I would be in yoga class with all of these white women, and I'm like, no, where's my people? Like, if anybody needs healing, y'all already know. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need it the most. And so I was like, oh shit, I have to teach this. Like, I have to teach this, and I have to teach young boys and girls because I suffer from depression at a very young age. 12, like I said, my mother and my father, and as a young woman, like that's it. So I didn't have anybody to go to. I didn't have anybody to get advice from. So I learned everything the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I looked to so many people to give to me, but ultimately I found that only I could give to me in the good Lord. Hallelujah. So yeah. And so I'm an advocate for creating safe spaces and brown faces. That's like what I go by. I teach children yoga, so I teach youth yoga in like the hood. So yeah, they challenge me, y'all. I'm in there, I'm like, Lord, we are not listening to NBA Youngboy, but I do it. I do the work. It's tough work, but I do it because I know that it's needed. You know, it's needed, and that exposure is needed. And if I can just give this practice and share this practice with one little boy, one little girl, and it does something for them, it allows them a way to heal, then I've done my job. And so I really feel like God put me here to help people to heal, but it was through my own journey that I had to learn how to get there. And I'm still learning. You know, I don't even like my students to call me like an instructor. Like, no, I'm just a teacher. I mean, I'm just a student. I just happen to be in the front of the class, you know, but I'm a student like everybody else. And yeah, so I would say, has anybody ever tried yoga? Like, have you guys tried it? What do you guys think? I want to know.
I love it.
Do you like it? You like it?
I gotta go back.
You gotta go back?
Yeah.
I saw him. What do you think?
It's
Yeah.
excellent.
It's excellent?
Yeah.
So does anybody have like a consistent practice? Like, are you in there like twice? Yeah, but are you in there like twice a week? Like, are you committed to it, or is it just like every now and then?
I go to my chiropractor every week.
Okay.
I go twice a week.
Okay.
It was very cool.
Yes. Yes.
And to empty your mind.
Yes. So I do this. Let me go around. But I do like this self-care Sunday class. And it's geared to like women, to entrepreneurs, to mothers, right? And it's all about taking that time for ourselves. And so I would just say, what I have found in yoga is that you do have to have a teacher that connects to you, because a lot of them they don't know y'all. So you gotta have a teacher that connects to you. But when you find a teacher that connects to you, like, I encourage everybody to like get into the practice, give it a try, even if you just do the meditation part. Because you have yoga, which is like the asanas, the physical part, but then at the end, most classes end with the meditation. And meditation is like huge for depression. And so I would just recommend it. I recommend you guys try it. Take your sisters, your friends, your boyfriend, like whomever, but definitely try it. So we're gonna do a breathing technique, a little exercise. Y'all ready? We can't do yoga. I was prepared to like actually have y'all in here like in downward dog, but not today. So if everybody, I'm
Yeah, I had to tell her, y'all, they're gonna be eating and stuff and all trying to be cute with the heels on and stuff. You can't have them putting their leg over their head and stuff there. Come on now.
But I'm gonna invite you guys. So we'll go through Ujjayi breath, which is known as yoga as also victorious breath. And so I'll invite you all to just close your eyes and just start to come into this space. Start to connect with the beautiful energy that surrounds us. And so with Ujjayi breath or victorious breath, the sound that happens on the back of your throat is almost like the sound of an ocean. So if you could imagine taking your hand in front of your mouth and pretending that your hand is a mirror, right? And so when you inhale, the exhale, you breathe into your hand as if you were fogging up that mirror. Right? Does that make sense? So inhale and then allow the breath to constrict from the back of the muscles on your throat. And you breathe into your hand. So a few more times. Inhale, deep inhale. I hope y'all feel it. Right? So knowing that you can connect to your breath. I think sometimes we take breathing we take it for granted, right? Knowing that breath is our life force. And so I encourage you guys that in times of anxiety, worry, stress, to just breathe. Breathing is such a simple thing, but it's so detrimental to just being able to move through uncomfortable spaces. I will say that when I found yoga, I found healing, like real healing. I've suffered from a lot. I lost my mother at a very young age. My father has been in prison the majority of my life. I went through an abusive relationship at a very young age, searching for love outside of myself, looking for that love that I didn't receive from my family, from my father. And y'all know that, right? That the daddy issues, Lord, the daddy issues. So just looking to everybody for love. And my boyfriend now, but when we were dating, he introduced me to yoga. And he was like, yeah, I'm doing yoga. And I'm like, what? Like, black people don't do that shit? He's like, no. So, he was into all of these different wellness things. And I'm like, boy, okay. Yeah. So But I was like, yo, we gotta go